Hi everyone, welcome to the channel HSE Flyer. In this video, we will discuss on liquefied petroleum gas safety. As everyone is aware that LPG cylinder is being used in everyone's home, so we must know about LPG and also we must educate our dear ones, family members, how to handle this LPG cylinder and how to respond if there is any leakage occurs. Now, firstly, we will see what is LPG. Basically, LPG is liquefied form of petroleum gases released during the extraction of crude oil and natural gas or during the refining of crude oil. And if you see the definition of LPG as per gas cylinder rules, LPG means any material which comprises predominantly of any of the following hydrocarbons such as propane, propylene, butane, which includes N-butane and isobutane, and butylene, or mixture of them with vapor pressure not exceeding 16.87 kg per centimeter square gas at 65 degrees centigrade. So this means LPG. And along with the above, following also may be present in LPG in small quantities such as ethane, ethylene, pentane, and pentene. It's clearly shown in IS standard 4576/1999. Now we will see few of the properties of LPG here. That is, LPG is mainly colorless, odorless, and non-toxic gas. In natural, if any LPG cylinder leaks, no one can sense the smell as it is odorless. So, just to overcome this problem, ethyl mercaptan is added for smelling if any leakage occurs. And also, LPG is very heavier than air, and if any leak occurs, it will spread on the ground first, and under pressure LPG will be in the form of liquid, and in ambient conditions it will be in gaseous form. And also the boiling temperature of the LPG propane gas is minus 42 degrees centigrade or minus 44 degrees Fahrenheit, and the melting or freezing temperature of LPG propane gas is minus 188 degrees Celsius or minus 306.4 Fahrenheit. Now we will see what to do in case of LPG cylinder leaks. If any LPG cylinder leaks, first of all we should not panic. So, and immediately we should open all doors and windows so that proper ventilation should come from outside. And immediately we should turn off the regulator and the burner, and then we should put off all the flames, lamps, intensities which is inside home. And we should put the safety cap back on the cylinder, and do not operate any electrical switches or appliances or equipment in the kitchen. And we should isolate the electrical supply from the outside source, and if required we should call our LPG dealer for emergency assistance. If you are able to isolate the cylinder to an open space, and just isolate it and cover it with wet cloth, and if required, if it is above your control, you should call the fire brigade and police if required. Now, we will see the due date of LPG cylinder. Most of the people will be thinking that there is an expiry date for the cylinder. Normally, there is no expiry date for cylinder. There is only due date of LPG cylinder for the testing. So, now we will see the picture here. It is mentioned D14. So, the 14 means the year, and it has been divided into 4 quarters. So, A, B, C, D. So under A, Jan, Feb, March will come, and under B, April, May, June, under C, July, August, September, and under D, October, November, December. So if you see in the photograph, it is shown there D14. So the due date for the test of the cylinder is falling in between October, November, December 2014. So based on that, while receiving any cylinder by you from the dealer, you should always check. If it is after the expiry of test due date, you can always ask them to replace for the new one. Now we will see some safety tips of LPG cylinder and its gas stove. So everybody knows there are few appliances like LPG regulators and rubber tubes. So we should always ensure that all the appliances are approved by BIS. And while receiving cylinders, we should ensure that that safety cap is intact and it should have a company seal. And if you don't know how to use LPG cylinder safely, you can ask always the delivery person for demonstration without any hesitation. And while servicing, you should always keep the rubber tube uncovered and visible. And you should check the rubber tube regularly for cracks. And if required, you can always change the rubber tube at least once in 2 years. And get your gas appliances serviced periodically. And it is not advisable to self repair, and it is completely unsafe. You should always call your distributor's mechanic. And before using of this LPG cylinder, you should ensure that the cylinder is kept away from any sources of heat or ignition sources. And you should never keep kerosene or other stoves on the floor where an LPG cylinder is in use. And you should ensure that LPG cylinder is kept in upright position only. And you should also ensure that always keep the gas stove on a platform above the cylinder level, and do not keep the cylinder in a cabinet or in a pit below floor level. And you should also check the cylinder valve to ensure that rubber o-ring is present inside. And for checking any gas leaks, you can always use soap solution, and never use lighted matchsticks for checking leaks. It is completely dangerous and not advisable. And before using, please retain safety cap with nylon thread attached to the cylinder. You should never remove the nylon thread, because if any leakage occurs, you can always keep the safety cap back to prevent the leakage. And do not store inflammable material like rubber mats, coil, etc. inside the kitchen or above the stove. It is completely unsafe. And shelves or storage cabinets should not be placed above the hot plate. Reaching out to the containers could cause accidents. And you should not have long curtains near the windows near the gas stove, so it has chances of catching fire, and it is completely unsafe. And in home, while cooking, you should always educate your family members to should not have long dupattas or saris or chunnis near gas stove. And also, most of the unsafe act what family members do inside home is they will leave the burner they will leave the vessels unattended on burners in operation. Sometimes the content may overflow and extinguish the flame and causing the gas leakage. And if there is any ignition, it will catch fire. And also, you should not keep any electrical appliances like refrigerators inside the kitchen, and power fluctuations in them can act as a source of fire in case of leakage. And while in use, just strike match first and then open burner. And while operating, you should always remember the first you should strike the match or press the lighter button, and then only you have to open the burner knob. So then only the gas will come out of the burner, and it will catch fire. Okay, and always use cotton clothes and the cotton apron while cooking. Never use synthetic clothes like silk, chiffon, etc. And clothing is for wearing, not panhandling. Use only pot holders. And after use, turn off the regulator knob and then stove knob before retiring to bed. Always keep the regular knob in off position when the cylinder not in use. And empty cylinders must be stored in a cool and well ventilated place with the safety cap put on. So these are the few safety tips of LPG. So in this video, we have seen what is LPG and its composition, and what to do in case of any gas leakage happens in our home, and also the due date for the cylinder and how to check it, and the properties of the LPG cylinder. If you would like to watch more videos on safety, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.